Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to TCGU University. This is your lovely Final Fantasy host, Noah, here showing you a deck profile, we're keeping that, for the 15th place Hanta Sero deck that I ran at the LWG 1K Plus event, which would be this past weekend at the time of recording this. I played Sero. If we had diversity, I would have made top 8. I would have been exactly an 8th, but instead I got 15th. I went 4-2, so not super good, but not terrible. We went past breaking even. So we'll start off with the deck profile, going through our foundations. Move this man over here. So we play 2 copies of Irrefutable Force of Nature. This card's just generically good. We're playing underwater, by the way. This card just says you get to seal assets or foundations. Especially with Kirishima being the deck in tops. If I unfortunately never got the chance to play against a Kirishima, but this card would have just been generically good to play because it either seals one of their dudes or for whatever reason forces them to bounce one of their foundations back to their hand after it's sealed, so they don't have to worry about it. I don't think that would ever happen, but you never know. We're playing Sero, so we should play at least 2 copies of Think Fast. It's a 2/5, 1 mid block, super good already. It's a unique, which is the only reason we play 2. Enhance, commit a foundation, change the zone of your attack. Enhance, if the zone of your attack has been changed, it gets +1 speed, +1 damage. With the next cards that I'm going to show, it's probably one of the coolest little combos that the deck plays. So we play 2 copies of this one. The next one, we have 4 copies of Classmate Introduction. This card is just really fun to use with Think Fast. It's a 2/5, 2 mid that says Enhance, if your rival has not played a block this turn, this attack gets +1 speed. Enhance, if it's your first attack this turn, it gets +1 damage. So playing Sero, your first attack comes in with 2 speed and 2 damage, and if your opponent doesn't block it, your next attacks come in with also 2 speed and 2 damage, as long as they're not blocking anything. Usually they want to, but you would want them to as well. Moving along, we play 3 copies of Frozen. Again, the Todoroki support was just really good underwater. Enhance, your turn, destroy a foundation, your rival commits 1 foundation. So usually during the end game, when I'm trying to push for damage to go through, I can just start blowing up all the stuff I've committed to make them commit. So it's just harder to block my attacks because their speed's not high at base, in my opinion, which is why we play 4 copies of Classmate Introduction and like 2 copies of Think Fast. We took it out, but we played 1 copy of Selfassured. It's a 2/4/3 high. Unique. Enhance, commit, change the zone of this attack. Enhance, destroy, draw 1 card for every 4 ranged attacks in your discard pile. I think the card's good with the deck at a 1-of. I actually traded it out for the current version of the deck using Creepy Realization, because I think underwater, if you have access to this card, you might as well play it, especially against like Staff Strike decks, because it just reduces the damage on a potential kill card. We played 2 copies of What's the Plan. It's a 2/5, 2 mid. Enhance, flip, choose one of the following effects. Both players discard a momentum. The next attack, this turn loses EX, Powerful, or Stun. You choose one of those 3. Again, I think I only ever use this to make people discard momentum, so I wasn't dying to like a Reciprocal Burst at random or another potential Tape Strike that was being played against me. We played 3 copies of Wall Cling. This card is very self-explanatory. It's a 2/4/3 high that just says, hey, I'll flip this, and if I block the attack, I don't take damage, which is really good considering this deck runs a lot of mid blocks. And I sounded weird doing that. We played spam 3 copies of Precise Control. It's a 1/5, 3 mid, breaker 1. Enhance, add it to my hand. So at worst, I just built a foundation. At best, I can pick the foundation up, block with it, and use the breaker ability on it, which I think I did just about every game I played. I used this card. I think it's just generically good, especially underwater. We played 3 copies of Tape. I don't like Tape being a 3 mid, which is the only reason I played 3 copies of it. Otherwise, I'd probably play 4. Enhance, it's a 1/5, 3 mid block. Enhance, flip, change the attack zone to mid. Enhance, flip, this mid attack gets -2 speed. I use this card every game because I play a lot of mid blocks, and when we get to the attacks, you'll see my best mid block has breaker 2 on it, which is why we want to block mids, especially for Sero's response. We played 4 copies of Observance Student. This card's generically good as well. We never use the Deadlock Enhance, but the top enhance is flip. Look at the top card of your deck. So the cool things we can do with this is flip to see if we're going to check well, or flip to see if we're going to check bad. We're going to check bad. We can make sure that the attack, we can change the zone so it's potentially half blocked, still deadly if they don't block it. That way we can just draw the attacks off the top of the deck. It's also a 1 low block, which is generically good against like Shigaraki in my opinion, or anything that plays death because they have really strong low attacks. Next, wow. 4 copies of Desperate Times. I think this card's nuts. So it's a 0/5/3 high that says response flip. After your rival draws any number of cards during the combat phase, they commit 1 foundation. If you want to shut off somebody's turn and you have like 3 or even 2 of these in your staging area, I think it does a really good job if they start drawing cards. If they don't draw cards, it's just a dead spam, but it's spam nonetheless. We played probably my MVP card, 4 copies of Gotcha. 0/5 too low. Respond after this card is committed during the enhanced step. This attack gets +1 or -1 speed, playable while committed. This card combos with another one I will be showing here. It's also really good against decks that stun you out because you can reduce the speed of the attack regardless. So you're kind of just trading. They stun you, but the attack loses its speed. So it's balancing out is a better way to say that. 2 copies of Rescue completed. I think this card's freaking nuts. Rescue completed plus Gotcha equals +2 speed on your attacks or -3 speed on your opponent's attacks. Enhanced, commit 1 foundation. This attack gets +1 or -2 speed, which is where Gotcha comes in. Or enhanced, destroy ready 2 foundations that are ready 2 face downs that have not been readied. It's a 3/5/2 mid. It's not unique, but it is a 3 check, so we only play, or not a 3 check, sorry. It's a 3 def, so we only play 2 of it. That's my general rule personally. Other than that, I think this card is just, if you're playing water, I think you play this card regardless. You need some form of speed hate, and against like an eraser deck or Ida deck, this is just a really good card to have. We played 1 copy of Sticky Balls. It's a 3/5/2 mid, unique, enhanced flip. Add the top card of your rival's discard pile to their card pool so it clogs if need be, so you can disrupt combos. Or enhanced commit, this non-ranged attack gets -4 speed. I played against a good number of non-ranged attack decks, so this card was really good. I feel like if the meta somehow plays nothing but ranges, this card's kind of meh. It's just a generically good card to have. The -4 speed at least once per turn every turn is solid. Moving on to the attack lineup. We played 2 copies of Ice Storm. This card was never really played as an attack. This card is basically here for its breaker or the potential to finish a game at the opponent in deadlock. It's a 4/3/2 mid block, 4 low for 4 that says enhance. This attack cannot be blocked by attack cards, which generally have good block mods. Deadlock enhance. This attack is +2 speed. Yeah, this attack gets +2 speed. The speed of this attack cannot be reduced. I was reading that weird. So it's at least in deadlock responses, which I think I only use like once or twice. It's a 6 low for 4. And then Sero can change the zone however he pleases. And we played 4 copies of Grasping Tape Toss. It's a throw. Sero can be played as a clock deck, which is kind of how I played it. Just break them down slowly until you can hit them with like a tape swing or something. Grasping Tape Toss is a 5/3/3 mid, kind of garbage. Range, stun 1, throw. Enhance, if this attack's not blocked, commit 1 rival foundation. Deadlock enhance, add 2 rival foundations to the bottom of their deck. That's also a really good deadlock enhance. So your opponents generally don't want to play or build into deadlock against this deck just because you have the selective ability to be like, hey, this attack is +2 speed and can't be reduced. Or, hey, I'll get rid of your 2 best foundations that you need to stop me. I think it's generally good. And this is also a throw, so it always hits. Usually people will half block it, which allows for the Sero response to draw 2. We played 4 copies of Rapid Tape Strike because it's also just a throw. Range stun 1, 4/3/2 high or 2 mid, 4 high for 4. Sero enhance, commit a foundation. This attack cannot be blocked by mid attacks. Then you just use Sero, make it a mid. Can only be partially blocked, so they either take 4 or take 2 depending on how much damage you're giving it. Enhance, commit a foundation. This attack is not blocked. Your rival discards a card. I never used that enhance. Maybe if I did, it would have been cool, but I never felt the need to. It's generally just another addition to making the deck a slight clock. It's another throw, quote unquote. If they block it, you're drawing 2 cards just about every time. And that's the draw power of the deck's insane. We played 3 copies of the Amphibious Ambush. I think the card's fucking nuts. It's a 5/3/2 low block, 3 high for 5. That's a range, and it has a combo range and enhance. Combo enhance, your rival adds 1 face-up foundation from their stage to their card pool, then builds the top card of their deck face down. So it gets rid of a useful foundation and builds a blank one. The enhance is the best part about it. Enhance, add one other ranged attack from your card pool to your momentum. Every attack we play in this deck's a ranged attack, so it just generates free momentum even if they block the attack before it. This attack can generally be blocked. I don't care as much, and I usually follow it up after playing one of these 4 copies of Frigid Heatwave. This is not a budget deck. Frigid Heatwave's a 5/3, 2 low block, 5 high for 4. Enhance, if you have 6 or more ranged attacks in your discard pile, draw 2 cards. Usually you're going to get there either by drawing or using your attacks to block, or through the second enhance. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck. This attack gets +2 damage for each ranged attack discarded this way. I had one game where I had 3 ranged attacks in my discard pile, milled 3 and milled 3 ranged attacks. And I was like, nice, we can draw 2 and kill. Otherwise, we were just kind of a sitting duck. This attack, usually when it's played, is at least a 6 whatever zone I want, probably a high or a low, for 5. They either eat it or they just block it. And I continue on with my turn, because usually we just play amphibious right after it. Final attack, you know it, we play Tape Swing. I hate that it's a 2-check. But I think it's a very crucial thing to play in this deck, especially since you're playing this as or the way I play it is like a clock. So you just slowly build up the momentum until you can kill him with a Tape Swing. It's a charge range. It's a 5/2 check, 1 high block, which is super good. 4 mid for 6. That says static. It can't be completely blocked, so they're always partial blocking, always allowing you to draw 2. Response. After the zone of this attack is changed, it gets +2 damage. So Sero automatically gives this card +2 damage. Then, Tape Swing's cool enhance, discard a momentum, change the zone of this attack. This enhance is playable any number of times this enhance step. Meaning if I have 4 momentum, I can change the zone of this attack 4 times and give it 8 damage. I think it's just the kill card for the deck, besides maybe a Frigid Heatwave or cheeking somebody out with like a Grasping Tape Toss. Me and Travis stayed up for about 2 hours putting this deck together, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, I went 4-2 with it. It was my first time playing it. I think the deck itself runs perfectly fine. I definitely made a lot of misplays with it, so the more I play, the better I'll get. And I guess I forgot to read what Sero does, so let's cut that into the front if we could. Sero, if you don't know, 6 mid, or 6 check. Play on a 6 check, 0 mid. We're good at numbers. 6-hander, 27 health. Which is like the best part about him, is that he's a 27 health character and he can potentially just be a 8-hander every turn, quote unquote. Response, after your attack is partially blocked, draw 2 cards. There's no cost to that response, so it's just, hey, you partial block this, I'll draw 2. Usually people want a full block, but if they can't, the partial is really nice, and the draw is always good because then you just build after. Response once per game. I use this every game. After an attack is completely blocked, your rival reveals their hand, choose 1 card in their hand, discard it. I use this specifically with my playstyle on my opponent's turn to either shut down early aggression turns or shut down kill turns. I don't ever think there was a reason I wanted to use this card on my turn when I can just chip them down anyways. And then the final one is enhance, change the zone of your attack. Again, no cost, which is like half the reason I like this character so much, because it reminds me of Cammy, and I really love that Cammy has no cost to changing zones, when the last 2 characters they printed had some form of cost for it. Symbols are order, void, water. Again, we played underwater. I think the ranged attack package is just the best way to go with him, especially since his attacks are naturally ranged attacks. And that's about it. I did this very wonky, kind of out of order. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more deck videos, James will bring them to you. But a few people asked for this deck profile, so I thought I'd put it out there. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed.